And we're live, right? How's it going, Babylon West? Are you enjoying your psychological operations of the day? Speaking of the day, August 23rd, 2021, FEMA Region 5, Detroit, Michigan. This is BJ Hammerstein here. Should be live. Green light. This microphone should be working. Last show, it was the computer, the iMac microphone, not this external microphone I have here. I'm going to just tell a quick little story here. I don't know if anyone's really watching. That's okay. We got lots of well, I wouldn't say lots of views, but my views come generally like the day after. But I'm going to come out here 9 o'clock on the week, Monday through Friday, and try to go through some news with you guys. Talk. If there's anyone out there, please comment, of course. I appreciate you showing up, whether it's live or in the recorded mode. Little personal story real quick. I was thinking about when I turned 20, and I've shared my birthday. It's March 23rd. When I turned 20, I had a girlfriend, Jessica, and I lived in an apartment. I was going to Eastern Michigan. I wasn't really going to Eastern Michigan. I was mostly playing Tetris at that time, and I was really, really good at Tetris. But at this sort of surprise party that she and my friends kind of threw for me, she got me a T-shirt, and it said, "Think for yourself." And that was a saying that I used to say back in the high school, early college days, think for yourself. And that's really kind of what the show's mostly about, right? I am not here to think for you at all. I like to present information and have you sort of look deeper and think about it yourself. Now, we're going to connect information as time moves on, how these things all connect. And I like to do that over and over again. But most important is to think for yourself. And unfortunately, that's not what the hive mind Masons want us to do. And yeah, I said it. There's secret societies, stuff everywhere. So the show tonight, the big stories. Let's see here. What are the big stories? I've said this like 3 or 4 times today. There's Afghanistan. There is FDA approval of Pfizer. There is the AUDIT regarding 11.3. And the gigantic trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of, I don't even know what, it's not infrastructure spending. I don't care what anybody says. That's not what those bills are all about. So we're going to kind of look at a little bit of that in just some clip mode here, and I'll talk about it. And we have a little Michigan news and a little headlines. Hopefully we'll be done in 30 minutes or so. 9:30 is where it's at. And yeah, please feel free to comment if you're still out there. This video, if you were with me Saturday night or watched the replay, let's go. And I am going to play the music again that I tried to play at the end of the Saturday night show. I'm going to try to play that this time around here too. But let's start the show, right? So this is Jen Psaki. This is from today, and I thought this was an interesting question. Maybe the most interesting sort of question I heard at the press conference.
To former President Trump this weekend at a rally in Alabama, asking his supporters to get vaccinated and then getting booed.
Well, one, we will take anyone who has a big platform out there who wants to encourage people to get vaccinated, doing it. That's a good thing. And we understand that some of the people who are not yet vaccinated are not people who may have Biden-Harris stickers on their cars, and that's okay. In terms of, I think it's just a recognition, as we are very clear-eyed about, that there are still people who are skeptical out there in the country, that there are still people who whether because of misinformation or a range of factors, are not yet getting vaccinated, even though it could save their lives. It means we still have more work to do, and we are committed to doing exactly that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
if you're trying to lose belly fat,
Uh, I didn't really watch the Trump rally because I did the live show. I said I was going to watch the replay. I ended up watching some clips. I saw the briefest of clips where he said that he has taken the jabberoni. I was saying jabberoni on Saturday night, but I'm changing it to jabberoni on Monday, and it's because of Bobby Brown's tenderoni, and it's all about the roni, the rona, and then the jabberoni, jabberoni, jabberoni. But I didn't hear the booze exactly. I have a friend who's asked me a lot about my thoughts on Trump with Operation Warp Speed and the vaccination distribution. And I don't know if I could really talk about my thoughts on this here. We'll have to figure out a different platform there. But I started the show saying, psyops, psyops are us. Are you enjoying your psyops in Babylon West? I don't believe what we're seeing is everything is exactly as it appears. I feel that there are a lot of shows and games and misdirections being played on all of us right now. And it's kind of frustrating. And my advice, and one of the reasons why I want to come out here, 5 nights a week basically, and go over all this stuff is, I kind of want to help people through this. And I know that it's easy to like point fingers and say, oh, he's doesn't agree or doesn't believe or doesn't do this. And I don't, put there's this new Facebook profile circle. It's like I have a healthy uh what is it? A healthy disbelief in government, but I still got my vaccination or something along those lines. And I also saw some triple vaxxed posts, all that. And I think for yourself. Everyone should be doing what they feel is right now. That's not what is being promoted. What's being promoted is do as we're told, not think for yourself. And I think that is where the other Jen Psaki and President Joe Biden, number 46, Sleepy Joe, Beijing Biden, he spoke today too about sort of the same things. And I think I have there he is, but I don't think we need to watch any of it. It's just mostly the same. This is Stephanie
So that is
Daniels
correct. On they are being tested, and we are working through
talking
offering
jabberoo
vaccines and what that process will look like. I hope to have more of an update
businesses.
on that for you in the next day or two.
And one more on COVID. Will the White House convince more businesses to require vaccines now that the Pfizer vaccine has been approved by the FDA?
Will we require or will we push them?
Will you push them to businesses and require certain businesses to, or push them to businesses?
Sure. No, I just wanted to make sure I was understanding your question. We have already started doing that over the last several weeks, and I think you've seen the president speak to this. You've seen a number of senior officials be more forward-leaning, I should say, about the role the private sector can play in mandating vaccines or taking steps with their own workforces. That is always going to be decisions for them to make, but some may assess, and some private sector companies have spoken out about how final approval of the vaccine may help them take that additional step. So we are here, and we are here to be a resource as they have questions, but certainly we're hopeful this will help put in place additional measures around the country.
So, like, what I'm thinking here is that there'll be more federal mandates. I think we're going to see as we go through the headlines later that Governor Gretchen Whitmer of the commie state of Michigan is not going to mandate vaccinations or make mass mandates, but she doesn't. The government, like the government, doesn't really need to do that anymore. Right now, they're pushing it onto the corporations and the businesses and the community and your neighbors and your family members. So they're trying to wear everybody down right now. This is a grueling, dramatic how the new normal. It's really been tough. All this new normal stuff, but that's what I think. So if you're a local business, and let me say this again, I've said this a couple times. I'm never going to stop saying this. It's not rock and roll to get the jabberoni. It's just not. There's nothing rock and roll about it. Like you're selling out, you're basically selling Big Pharma's products. And you could sell Big Pharma's products, but you're a salesman. You sold out. And this guy here, he knows. Oh, shit. My bad.
To get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a
Justin
train
Trudeau.
besides vaccinated people and put them at risk. We need to be strong in the decisions we're taking going forward. Deserve better. You deserve a government that's going to continue to say, get vaccinated. And you know what? If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train besides vaccinated people and put them at risk.
That comes from Darren of Plymouth at Darren Plymouth on the Twitter, which I'm permanently suspended from, it appears. But yeah, so this is the message. This is what's coming down from our free Western country governments, which I've been saying, and I'll say it again and again and again. It's the Western governments it's the governments of the world versus the people. It's a worldwide freedom movement going on, and we will prevail because we're the people, man, and these guys are freaks. So look at the headline here. Marjorie Taylor Greene admits she respected Nancy Pelosi. So this is around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Hey, look at this. I've got a little comment here from a Mr. James Matthews of the Family Tires, I believe. Interesting which Saki continues to say the poison will save your life. Perhaps someone should ask her and all the rest to prove it with science. Okay, James, we gotta be careful here on the YouTubes. they don't like real science talk going on here. So The Hill, left-leaning publication, of course, has this headline: Marjorie Taylor Greene admits she respected Nancy Pelosi, and I'm expecting to, see something. Well, let's play the video, and then I actually think that this is maybe the most important 2 minutes I watched today, and besides the 2 minutes you're watching of me right now. I'm just kidding.
Warm sunshine. We shouldn't be here. Congress should be at home working in our districts. Unfortunately, the Speaker of the House sees this week as a time to pass her legacy, which is the Green New Deal. I find it pretty appalling and pretty shocking that Nancy Pelosi, who has always come across as a pretty tough woman to me, has actually given in and been bullied by the squad, the radical squad, into passing the Green New Deal this week within the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill and the $3.5 trillion budget. Now, I'll tell you, as a woman who grew up in a construction company and owned and operated one for over 20 years, this infrastructure bill is not infrastructure. It's a bunch of woke identity politics wrapped up into a package that is step one of the Green New Deal. Only $110 billion of this $1.2 trillion actually goes to roads and bridges and real infrastructure. This is no bill. Not one single Republican should hold hands with Democrats and cross over the socialist bridge into the land of socialism. That's not bipartisanship, and no Republican should vote for infrastructure. No Republican should vote for this budget that is full passage of the Green New Deal, which will put the entire country of America and every single American citizen on our knees to China. Do you want to depend on China for the battery that you're going to have to use to drive your government-forced electric vehicle? I know I don't. I'd love to have the choice to have one or not. But this is what the budget does, and everyone needs to know it and understand it. By the way, America only competes by 10% in the lithium battery market, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. This is really important. everything that's happening right now. Let's switch to the screen again here. So, I haven't studied their gazillion, trillion, bazillion dollar, multi crazy infrastructure budget. It's a United Nations plan done through the Rockefellers. I got all this stuff up here if we want to look at it. Basically, it's just it can't pass. I mean, it looks like it might or partially. I hope it doesn't. I think that maybe it doesn't pass, and maybe things aren't going the way it appears that they're going. But I can't really say more than that right now. We'll just have to kind of wait and see how it goes here, right? Let me see something here. So we'll move to, I guess we'll do this one over here. So, it's dystopic, this world that we're living in. And here's James's favorite governor and Carrie Ebersole, and they're all reading scripts, by the way. Like, watch their eyes when they're doing all these Zoom calls, and you'll see their eyes go from one side of the screen to the next side of the screen. You would think that the lawmakers that have to repeat these same talking points, I'm not talking about the names of the people, but if you watch this video today, it's just all scripted, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not writing anything down beforehand. I know it might hurt my overall presentation and certain points I don't make that I want to make, and I forget a lot of things, and sometimes my sentences don't even make sense exactly. However, I'm coming off authentic and without, a script or props or, well, I mean, I guess I have lights and try to make this place look good, and here comes the cat. But you know what I'm saying? It's not fake like all this other stuff is. So let's just watch. Michigan announces final winners of COVID-19 vaccine lottery. Over in the very posh, bougie suburb of Bloomfield Township, woman wins 2 million COVID-19 vaccine lottery grand prize. Hallelujah. Yay, yay, yay. Isn't that great? Here's some more names. All these links will be listed in the descriptions. I have that all set up thanks to, well, this is a nice little comments right here from Mr. Tires. Her handcuffs are getting warmed up. That's Big Gretch we're talking about right there. Let's watch this video for like it's like dystopia all day long with these COVID PSAs. This is all of our money. They're using actors all day with their little piano music, and it's just.
Thank you, Governor. Really appreciate your leadership through these unprecedented times in our lifetime. And the governor is right. Every dose counts, and right. Every vaccine clinic counts. Every time somebody gets vaccinated, it's a life-saving dose they're receiving that gets us one step closer toward reaching our 70% goal. I now have the honor of introducing all of the remaining MIShotTOWin Sweepstakes $50,000 daily drawing winners. So without further ado, our first winner was immunized on July 23rd. And like a lot of winners, he didn't even respond to our initial call because he thought it was a scam. As he said, blew us off for a few days. Luckily for him, he was wrong. And the winner is...
Oh shoot, there's gonna be an ad right now? You gotta be kidding me. I'm so sorry. Just over 1 second. I gotta do some ad blocker stuff.
Todd Myers of Oakland Township in Oakland County. Todd is a facility supervisor for the Detroit Red Wings at Little Caesar Arena and at DTE Energy Music Theater. I still call it Pine Knob. He got his vaccination at the Kroger Pharmacy in Lake Orion, and he told us he was motivated to get his vaccine for 2 reasons.
They talk about the date that they get the vax. It's just really strange to me. But then I saw this story the other day. I do have a window open because it's 150 degrees. Wood TV 8 out of like West Michigan. MSU College of Medicine holds white coat ceremony. Watch this.
For the Michigan State College of Medicine. The 2021 matriculation and white coat ceremony introduced their entering class this afternoon.
Dr. Aaron Sousa.
A new class of students take the leap into the world of medicine. Following the Star-Spangled Banner, medical professionals took the podium to welcome hundreds of students to the Michigan State University's College of Human Medicine and give them their white coats.
It is a marker of science.
Dr. Aaron Sousa made the opening remarks at today's ceremony. He says the white coats help students make the connection between science and humans.
So we want to help them understand how to work with patients as people, but understand that the base of what we do is about the science.
The ceremony took place in Grand Rapids at the DeVos Performance Hall, and Dr. Sousa says it's a great opportunity for students' families to see them receiving the coats and also learn more about the journey they're about to go on. The ceremony began at 3 p.m. and wrapped up around 6:30. In the newsroom, Luke Laster, News 8.
A big step. That guy's got a great broadcasting voice. News 8. So this white coat thing, I was watching it and I was thinking first the Jabberoni cult. I usually say the Baphomet cult, but the Covey cult. You might be following what I'm saying here. But I was like, white coat ceremony, I haven't seen this before. And the white coat ceremony is a ritual in some schools. So that's all we really could just leave it right there. This is it's a ritual. It's a ritual. So our medical students first thing they're doing is getting a ritual to get indoctrinated, basically. Follow. Let me just read the sentence. The white coat ceremony, WCC, is a ritual in some schools of medicine and other health-related fields that marks the student's transition from the study of preclinical to clinical health sciences. At some schools, where students begin meeting patients early in their education, the white coat ceremony is held before the first year begins. It is an example of matriculation. The ritual is a recent invention, first being popularized in the 1990s. WCCs typically involve a formal coding of students. This is one in the white coat ceremony in Graz, Austria. So, when we talk about medicine, and you have to look at the American Medical Association, and, I like to automatically go to this section here, Rockefeller Medicine Man. Rockefeller Medicine Man. The book tells the hidden story of the financial, political, and institutional manipulations whereby a diverse and eclectic range of healing modalities available to the North American public was summarily pared down to a singular style of medicine that would become the predominant medicine of the Western world and a major force in global medicine culture during the 20th century. This was brought about largely by the collaboration of the American Medical Association, the philanthropies of Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, and the development of revolutionary curriculum by the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. This is all this planned world that we live in by these guys and other guys. But the Rockefeller in the United Nations, we've done this in a bunch of shows. We'll do it in more detail later on because we're running out of time. This is from December 16th, 2020. The Rockefeller Foundation, taking back control, a resetting of America's response to COVID-19. Don't think these guys, and we just bend over backwards for them all. And, Rockefeller, this is from January 26, 2011. It's from the, excuse me. And eventually I'm going to get fired up and go crazy in one of my shows. You're going to love it one day when I start going, Rockefeller joins Pfizer's Global Centers for Therapeutic Innovation. So today, the FDA approves the Pfizer Jabberoni. And I just want you to see that Rockefeller has been working with Pfizer inside their labs for years. If not, basically running the whole thing. All right, so we are getting close to my 9:30 time. I gotta zip through some headlines here. I don't think I have the full show. I'm looking down when I should be looking at you over here, but my computer's this way. All right, so we're gonna flip through some headlines super fast, and then we're gonna let you go. I am gonna play a 2 minute, like you'll know that the show's almost over when I start to play this music. And I hope everything sounded well. It looked like it was working right. When I played a clip, I kind of freaked out because my settings looked like they got screwed up. But I think we're all good. So real quickly, we're gonna kind of just go through some last minute headlines here, and I'll let you go, right? And then I'll do it again tomorrow night at 9. That's the plan. Poll shows tight race for governor between Whitmer and Craig. This was actually a free press poll that I had to take from MSN.com, and it comes to me. I mean, I saw it earlier, but a friend sent it to me via text for the show, and I'm just going to say that. I want to say two things. One, I always say, I don't buy the polls right now. I don't really believe much in the journalism media department. I worked at the Free Press. I'm not going to say that they didn't go out and try to get a real poll, but I think that the numbers are fudged, and I have some thoughts about the next election, but I'm not going to get into that. How much did they pay FDA? That's a good question, says Jan Little. This is a new person to our little universe here. Hi, Jan. I have there's like a 13-page letter, I think, from the FDA to Pfizer, and I was watching some videos. I think it might have been just an extension of the emergency use. There's also a new name for this Pfizer jabberoni that they're going to market it as. So I don't know exactly how much they did, but you're pretty much right there. There is definitely some funny business going on, right? And so, thank you, Jan. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Michigan man who told Governor Whitmer he is watching her every step arrested for alleged threats. Now, it's not right for me to laugh about this type of story because the last time with the kidnappers, it was so serious. All those FBI people playing kidnapper. So let's just say Kevin Dow, 31 of Clarkston, is accused of sending the threats in January and March using the state's Contact the Governor webpage. Michigan man who told Governor Whitmer he is watching her every step arrested. So that is probably good to know. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel won't charge state GOP chair Ron Weiser. Now, this story I sort of was looking at suspiciously, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and this just shows you, like, screw these parties, screw the party system. They're all pretty terrible. It's just big government sold out by their big corporate, big pharma, big tech, big oil sponsors. It's a big joke. Michigan Republican Party Chairman Ron Weiser won't face criminal charges over his use of party funds in 2018 deal that required a candidate for Secretary of State to abruptly end his campaign, Attorney General Dana Nessel said. Nessel, a Democrat, said a consolation agreement between Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson's office and the Michigan GOP barred further criminal litigation under the state's campaign finance law, and because Weiser, as chairman, is not a public officer as defined by law, other criminal statutes simply do not apply. So it wasn't really like, this was just like some sort of deal for someone to step down. Paying a candidate for office to withdraw from a statewide election is no doubt insidious behavior that diminishes and undermines our democracy, Nessel said in a statement. However, under the circumstances presented, Mr. Weiser's use of political party funds to manipulate the nomination for the office of Secretary of State for the 2018 Michigan Republican Convention did not allow for criminal charges to be generated. So yeah, there you have it there. My cat's messing around. So just a quick look at the headlines, and I'm going to let you go. It's 9:30. We do have a new Detroit, new Detroit police officer relieved of duties following Greektown fight. Greektown's an area in Detroit that's pretty rowdy at night. This is the story I thought I was reading right there. Mayor Dugan names James White as new Detroit police chief. He replaces Chief Craig, who may or may not be running against Gretchen Whitmer, as featured in that poll. CNN adds 6 more places to very high-risk COVID travel list. There is a CNN story. Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, how 4 presidents created today's Afghanistan mess. I think, here's a CNN story that I think you won't really see elsewhere. Arizona's sham election audit report delayed after Cyber Ninja's CEO and others test positive for COVID-19. The report detailing the findings of contractors who conducted Arizona's sham audit of last year's election results, which had been expected Monday, will be late because 3 of the 5 members of the auditing team have tested positive for the coronavirus, the state's Republican Senate leader says. Again, I'm not buying that story. I don't know. Maybe they have the COVID. It's real. I've been told that for a year and a half straight. It's real, and I know people that have had it. They tell me. From the Washington Post, Biden faces pressure to extend Afghanistan. I did want to say, Jen Psaki earlier said that the coronavirus origin report might be ready tomorrow and might be out in the next couple of days. So that will be interesting, something to look forward to. Pfizer BioNTech coronavirus vaccine gets full FDA approval. We know that. We know all that. Over at the New York Times, U.S. forces go into Kabul to extract stranded Americans and allies. Fresh urgency was injected into an already frantic process that has seen about 10,400 people evacuated from Afghanistan in the past 24 hours. That's not all American people, though. That's mostly Afghan people, I think. Tens of thousands are still hoping for rescue, with priority recently being given to Americans over Afghan allies, according to a U.S. official. It's an interesting story. They're all crushing him about it, though. So we'll have to wait and see. Breaking: Taliban won't extend August 31st deadline for U.S. withdrawal, threatens Biden regime. Complete evacuations by August 31st to face consequences. So today's the 23rd. The 31st is a week away. We've got everything kind of being heated up right now, right? You have Afghanistan. We got 9/11, 20th anniversary coming right up. We have mandates for everything. It's going to be really something interesting over the next couple of days. Okay, I'm going to try this music again right now. And I have to do it this way. Ooh. Sorry, guys. We'll try it like that, right? Okay, so zero hedge, and we're going to end this thing tonight in a minute. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Biden celebrates FDA approval with message to unvax. The time for you to get your vaccine is here. Will Biden succeed in wiping news of the disaster in Afghanistan from the headlines? As Pentagon's Afghan debacle unfolds, Russia announces joint war drills with China and Iran in Gulf. Interesting timing. America's latest COVID wave appears to have peaked as hotspots turn the corner. Come on. We have an election coming up in a year and a half. We have school starting right now. It can't be over yet, right? We got a couple more years before the 2025 expiration date. You remember seeing that? I talk about that all the time. We got a Drudge Report as we're ending it. Survivors grapple with the aftermath of deadly Tennessee. Our vice president was in Singapore. I did watch that speech. ISIS returns. Korea launches construction of new warships and retention. All right. Cuomo abandons dog at governor's mansion? Terrible. Time Zoom says Cuomo's dog Captain left that mansion after governor departed? That's terrible. That is terrible. Just read the official show right now. Tamis or Tammy? Yeah, I've read some of the. I'll read more of the approval again. Maybe we'll look at it deeper tomorrow. But I'm gonna end the show right now. Thank you guys for commenting. Jan Little, Tamis, James Tires, all new commenters. I really appreciate that. We'll go live tomorrow again at 9. We'll get into this stuff deeper, and I'll look at this stuff more. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Bye, Tamis.